Right. So this is a part 3. This is a part 3 to Surah ar-Rahman, mercy, right? And it's helping people to what? Face, confront, and overcome what is called jinn possession, right? Face, confront, and overcome what's called jinn possession. Now, jinn is basically a jinn, as I was saying, is an entity, but it's also something within us, right? So it's an entity, meaning a force that backs an action that we do, that supports an action that we do, regardless if it's right, wrong, whatever it is. So if it's a wrong action, I keep engaging repetitively. The jinn is basically an entity that backs that, that supports that, right? It is an entity that supports a wrongdoing, a consistent wrongdoing, right? So this is helping you and I to what? Face and confront the jinn that is back in the jinns that are back in the wrong that we are doing, right? To annihilate those forces, and those forces doesn't mean you are killing a person or killing people. There are forces behind that which operates behind us as human beings, right? You and I. There are spiritual forces, technological forces, whatever it is, that backs and supports, right, the wrongdoings that we engage in, right? As I was thinking yesterday, right, you regulate that which you eat, regulate your sex life, right? Regulate that which you consume and regulate that which you put out, right? Meaning your sex life, your semen, or your fluids, right? Regulate that which you expel, regulate that which you consume, right? And you will see a vast difference in your life and being able to manage the jinns that have been trying to control you for your entire life, right? Regulate those two things, right? That which you consume and the bodily fuels, your sex life, that which you put out, right? Your energy, your life force that you put out into the world, right? Through excessive sex. And I'm talking to the pornography industry now, right? I'm talking to the forces that regulate that, the forces that control and back that industry, right? And people involved in that industry, and not just the pornography industry, but the types of things that are involved, right, within that industry, right? Incestuous activities that go on, lesbian, homosexual, sex, right? All these kind of activities within the pornography industry, as well as heterosexual excessive sex that takes place within the industry, and the type of animalistic carnivorous sex that takes place within that industry as well, helping you to regulate these things, or even come out of it altogether, right? And regulate yourself outside of that industry, right? So there are forces, there are jinns, what you call jinns, that support and back these things, right? And back your behavior, even if you are outside of these industries and you engage in that, right? So it's about recognizing when you have been possessed by certain entities, right? Consciously or unconsciously, right? So I've only come to these realizations of recently, right? Knowing that what your life, our lives, are in fact very much controlled, and we are trying to what, free ourselves from this, what they call jinn possession, right? Jinn possessing you to go and commit senseless murder. Jinn possessing you to, every time you see a person, you think, oh, I want to have sex with that person, right? And these are the forms of thinking, right? Patterns of thinking, deep-rooted patterns of thinking that the Quran can assist you in coming out of. Now, people might say, oh, I'm a good advertiser, I'm advertising this book. I'm talking from direct personal experience, right? Direct personal testifying experience, right? Your life is not yours, has not been yours, right? So it's about taking back control over your own mind, right? For your entire life, your life has not been yours, right? So it is about taking back control over your own mind, your mind, right? By confronting what is called jinn possession, right? Possession of your life, your mind, your heart, your soul, by entities that attach themselves to you and try to what, control your behavior, right? Control your behavior in negative ways, that your life takes a negative life path, right? That you end up taking a negative life path, or following without your knowledge, right? And that is why knowledge is important. That is why knowledge is important, right? Because you don't have knowledge of this, right? You say, okay, I'm predestined to kill this person. I'm predestined to have sex with 10 different men. I'm predestined to be in the pornography industry. I'm predestined to be in a dark side of entertainment industry, right? These are the things that, and they will force you to believe that you are predestined, and God chose you to perform these rules, right? So regulate that which you consume, regulate the energy that you put out. And I'm talking to the pornography industry and people involved, whoever's hearing this message, or those who can communicate it. Regulate the energy or the life force that you put out into the universe by virtue of your sacred bodily fluids, and regulate that which you consume, and you will be able to what? Annihilate, right? Not even control, but annihilate the forces that back certain behaviors that you've been engaging in for your entire life, right? Taking back control of your own mind.